season, or maybe jump right into, hey, we're going to play the 82 games from December or January, and maybe like we talked earlier in the episode, maybe try and compete with MLB and see what happens. So.
Well, with those teams that are not into this season then, or who will not make the playoffs toward the end of the summer, and they get those practices and all that, we'll worry about them later in the year. But those teams that will be in, there are 22 of them, as we talked about, set to return. That's time for lightning standings to me, Eric. It is. It spells it out right there. Let's though share with our listeners who is in, and we'll break those standings down, and then you and I, we gotta pick which ones we like, right?
That's right.
All right, and that's our who you got for the season. So we're kind of doing a twofer right now on this episode, and all about the NBA teams that we should expect to see July 31st. It's fun to actually, put a date to that. Much like with the MLS, that just feels so much more real than just talking about, when the season happens. Not when, it's going to. It's just, it's happening. Great. All right, anyway, enough about that. What do you want? You want to take the East or the West?
I'll do the West.
Yeah, I like it.
I'll do the West. All right. So the way I'm going to go ahead and go down, I'm just going to go over the teams. And then I'll kind of give some of the records towards the bottom here, the ones that are really tightly packed in there. Gotcha. But the Lakers sit up top the West as the number 1 seed, followed by the Clippers, then the Denver Nuggets. And then you have the Utah Jazz sitting in 4th place, Oklahoma City Thunder. And then this is where we start to get a little bit tight. They're 40-24, same as the Houston Rockets, 40-24. Then you move to 7th seed, which is Dallas Mavericks, 40-27. They're only about a game and a half back of those two. And then the 8th seed, there is a big gap here, but there can be some movement. So Memphis Grizzlies are the 8th seed right now at 32-33. And then you start packing them in here as well, too. So Portland Trailblazers, 29-37. They're only a couple games back of Memphis. At the same spot as the New Orleans Pelicans, as well as the Sacramento Kings at 28-36 apiece as well, too. The San Antonio Spurs are also going to be going to Orlando. They're half a game back of those 3 seeds in front of them. San Antonio Spurs, 27-36. And then the Phoenix Suns are the last team that's invited, and they are exactly 6 games behind the Memphis Grizzlies in the 8th spot at 26-39.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting that so many teams have this potential in the West. It does get a lot tighter in the East, where it's a little more top heavy, but with a healthy lead still, even coming out of the break. The Milwaukee Bucks had a 3-game losing streak when the season shut down, but they were still at 53-12, so still really good. The Bucks sitting on top of that, but right behind them, Toronto Raptors. They only had 18 losses on the year, and followed by the Boston Celtics. Then you had the Miami Heat, which Eric will tell you that's pretty good for them. Yeah, go Heat. But I'm all right with that. Indiana Pacers, Philadelphia 76ers in there, which is nice to see that they were building themselves up. They've been on a long road back to the playoffs and trying to get into some success. And then Brooklyn Nets are still in there, and followed by the Orlando Magic with not so hot of a record. Actually, they share very similarly with the Nets, just 30 wins. And Washington Wizards are still technically in it at 24-40. Do we count them in? Yeah, well, we'll see how the season kicks back in, because the Nets and the Magic still have those are the only 3 teams, by the way, Nets, Magic, Wizards, who are in the East and not clinched. All the preceding teams are automatically in. Real quick, I'm gonna, even if it's okay with you, Eric, I'm just gonna name all the teams that are out in case you just are listening and you're wondering, like, what is going on with them? Here are all the teams that are just do not expect them until next season. Charlotte Hornets, you got the Bulls, the Knicks, Pistons, Hawks, and Cavaliers out of the East, and then the other teams out of the West, just the 2 of them that were eliminated thus far, and that is going to the Timberwolves and then the Warriors. Worst of the worst this year. So crazy of a turn. It's amazing what just the change of a couple of players can really do to a team in the NBA.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, so we will follow them, and more to come with the whole league, I'm sure, in the next couple of episodes when we'll focus back up, when we're actually gearing up to the NBA actually happening. And if there's any other news, of course, we'll want to share that. But let's talk about who we think out of that list, Eric. Who do you think's got a shot out of both conferences, like getting in the finals? What do you think?
Out of the West, I think it's the Lakers. You have, still one of the best players in the NBA, in
right.
LeBron James, who is a seasoned veteran, who's been going deep in the playoffs for years, and now he just got, essentially a ton of rest for a veteran player. And I think he's going to be, coming out of here shot like a cannon. He's going to have to go through a gauntlet of the West, so that could be a little bit difficult. But I definitely like the Lakers with the rest given to LeBron James and Anthony Davis. I think they're going to be really, really good. Out of the East, I'm going to go my sleeper pick. I'm being a little bit of a homer on this sense. I'm taking the Miami Heat.
Okay,
the young team. Lot of talent on that team, even though they're young. But I think they can do it. You got some veteran squads in there as well too. Milwaukee's been a little bit more of a veteran squad now. They've gotten some experience in the playoffs. Same with Toronto and Boston. But Miami's a very young team. Maybe this layoff helped them. It could hurt them as well too. But I'll take Miami out of the East as an upset pick.
Okay,
put it on paper.
All right, for me, out of the East, I mean, it doesn't change at all, COVID or no COVID. I've been saying it, and as my number one pick for this season, the Bucks are just, they're going to be there. They're in the finals.
Yeah.
I don't see them slowing down. I am totally with you, though, on the West, that it's going to be a tough challenge to face the Lakers. However, you never really know. It feels like a wild card. When you have such a disturbance happen to your season, whether you're the best or not, maybe something can happen. So I'm going to play a little wild card. Actually, it's not that much of a wild card. I'm going to say the Clippers are going to make it. So just the other team in LA. We'll see what I like what they've done all season. And yeah, I'm just an old Noah fan though too. It was always
Okay. Yeah, I mean, they got Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. I mean, they're a great team too. So
they're built to win, no doubt.
With some veterans.
Leonard has that all-star experience too, being in the finals. So it'd be fun to see him back there. And yeah. So cool. All right, those are who you got. That's also the Lightning standings. Gosh, where's that put us, Eric? Oh man, just on what to watch. But what is there to watch?
There's nothing to watch
not too much to watch. There's some racing. If you're into
there's some racing.
Racing going on.
We talked about it a couple weeks ago. I mean, NASCAR is essentially back. So
Indy Series is
IndyCar racing.
Yep.
IndyCar Series racing has announced that they're starting back up as well too. So they're getting back out there. So if you like racing, now's a great time. You can definitely watch it and enjoy it until we start to get back to some real sports. July 8th. I got it marked on my calendar. MLS World Cup.
Oh, man. I was going to say the exact same thing. Calendar staring. I'm just going to be watching the calendar, marking the days off. July 8th is going to be a fun day. And I didn't get to stress this enough when you mentioned this earlier on, is that World Cup style of play, doing pool matches and then just that 54-match tournament over 35 days, that's a lot of soccer. That's going to be a lot of fun. And you'll get to watch so many different teams in a short amount of time. I think that is so ideal for the MLS. I think they're going to capture, this is their time to shine. They're going to capture a new fan base that will gravitate toward particular teams, and there will forever be new fans built out of this new season. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. So can't wait.
Definitely agree with you, especially in those new expansion markets that are coming with no other sports going on.
Right.
Just for example, St. Louis is one of those expansion cities, along with Austin, Texas, and two others. Mm-hmm. But they are, these cities now don't have anything else to watch. Yeah. And
it's going to prime us up.
Be pumping in some advertising and marketing into these cities to be like, hey, tune in, see what this product is. You guys are getting a team. And I think those cities should, in particular, have a huge buy-in to enjoying this tournament.
No doubt. All right, well, that is it for our show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's been another edition of Average Sports with your average guys. What episode? This is episode 12, man. Where's this year gone?
Episode 12, season
It's been a weird
3.
season. Yeah. Well, we'll see you next time in a couple weeks. Hope to have you tuning in. Yeah, see y'all later.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Average Sports with Average Guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, and we'll see y'all next time.